Yo, you are not going to believe this one. The internet is on fire right now over something that feels straight out of a Netflix crime drama. But nope, this is real life. Donald Trump just said he's open to pardoning Diddy, even if he's found guilty in his ongoing federal sex trafficking and Rico trial. Yeah, you heard that right. And best believe 50 Cent, hip-hop's petty king and unofficial internet watchdog, wasted zero time jumping into the ring. Let's break this all the way down. Because between the wild courtroom testimony, backstage beefs, old school drama, and surprise political twists, this story runs deep. Like, we might need popcorn for this. During a Friday press conference in the Oval Office, Trump was standing next to Elon Musk, already a weird combo, and a reporter asked him about Diddy's charges. Instead of dodging the question like most politicians would, Trump just casually says he'd consider pardoning Diddy, even if he's convicted. Wait, what? This ain't shoplifting or tax evasion. These are federal charges, including sex trafficking, witness tampering, and racketeering under the Rico Act. The kind of stuff you'd expect in a narco script. Is Trump just trying to court more celebrity support for the 2024 election? Is this about sending a message to the entertainment industry that he's the boss? Or does he just not know the gravity of the charges? Either way, 50 Cent wasn't having it. 50 Cent claps back hard. Curtis Jackson, aka 50 Cent, took to Instagram with the speed of someone who'd been waiting for this moment. First, he made it clear, Trump's even thinking about this after everything Diddy's been accused of. Not okay. Then he doubled down with a slick warning. Trump doesn't take disrespect lightly and never forgets who turns against him. Some say that was aimed at Diddy. Some say it was shade at Trump. Either way, it's spicy. Let's not forget, 50 and Diddy have had beef for nearly 2 decades. This is nothing new. Back in 2006, 50 dropped a diss track called The Bomb, hinting Diddy knew who was behind the murder of Biggie Smalls. Wild, right? And over the years, he's repeatedly mocked Diddy's parties, his image, even speculated on his private life. These two are not friends. So when Diddy's name gets dragged through legal fire, 50 is always the first one lighting the match. Witness testimony, darker than expected. Now, on to the trial itself, and buckle up, because this is where things get real. This week, Capricorn Clark, Diddy's former assistant, took the stand. And what she described sounded more like a horror movie than a hip-hop career. She says that back in 2011, after finding out Cassie was cheating on him with Kid Cudi, Diddy allegedly showed up at her apartment with a gun, forced her to get into his car, drove her to break into Kid Cudi's house. Then later that day, she says she witnessed Diddy beat Cassie so badly she fell to the ground, curled up in a fetal position. She was so scared she called Cassie's mom, telling her to call 911. Think about that. A man with that much power, allegedly rolling up with a weapon and dragging people along for revenge. That's not just abusive, that's terroristic. And wait, it gets wilder. Kid Cudi himself testified that shortly after this fallout, his Porsche was blown up outside his house with what looked like a Molotov cocktail. You think that's a coincidence? Because the jury won't. More bombshells from insiders. And Capricorn's not the only one telling stories. Another former assistant testified under the name Mia, saying Diddy forced himself on her multiple times. Deontay Nash, a stylist and friend of Cassie, said Diddy controlled everything, from what Cassie wore to what she did in bed, including freak-offs with strangers on her birthday. Nash claimed Cassie said she didn't want to be filmed, but did it because Diddy demanded it. This is textbook coercion, not just a toxic relationship, like Diddy's defense keeps claiming. And then there's Gene Deal, a former bodyguard, who says this behavior was normal in Diddy's circle. He described entire fear operations, like isolating employees, constant firing and rehiring, and using Uncle Paulie to do Diddy's dirty work. Witness tampering and the Rico twist. Now here's where it gets legally dangerous. Prosecutors allege Diddy was tampering with witnesses before the trial even started. The charges include attempted bribery, threats of public humiliation, creating false narratives and recording calls to use as leverage, paying off hotel staff $100,000 to make that infamous Cassie video vanish. This all plays right into the Rico charge, which allows prosecutors to go after patterns of criminal behavior like a criminal enterprise. So this isn't just about one victim. It's about years, maybe decades, of systemic abuse and cover-ups. Flashback to 1999. History repeats? You might remember Diddy's 1999 club shooting with J-Lo, right? Well, guess what? Back then, he was also accused of using his entourage to interfere with witnesses. Sound familiar? The same bodyguard, Uncle Paulie, has been mentioned again as one of the people Diddy allegedly used to intimidate others. It's like a cycle that just keeps playing out. Different decade, same tactics. Speculation corner. What if? Let's just imagine something wild. What if Trump actually pardons Diddy? What would that signal to victims, to women, to anyone going up against celebrity abusers? Would it become the next big culture war issue? Would it ignite a Me Too 2.0 for hip-hop? And how would 50 Cent respond? A diss track? A Netflix docuseries? You know he wouldn't let it slide. Let's talk about it. So here's what I want to know from you, the people watching this right now. Do you think Trump is serious about the pardon, or is this just another attention grab? Should celebrities like Diddy be treated differently in court, or held more accountable because of their influence? And what about 50 Cent? Is he a watchdog for justice, or just using this to settle old scores? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because I need to know how y'all feel. This case is far from over, but one thing is clear. We're witnessing something historic. Celebrity, power, politics, crime, redemption, or downfall. Whatever happens next, best believe we'll be here to break it down. Make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you don't miss the next drop. Because this rabbit hole, it's only getting deeper. Catch you in the next one.